right, today we're diving into a really fascinating new frontier in mental wellness. It's a platform called Aura Wellness. And at its core is this idea of a cognitive digital twin, basically a digital copy of your mental state that's designed to help you stay resilient. So let's get right into it. So you might be asking, why is a tool like this even necessary? Well, to get that, we've got to look at a really fundamental problem. For decades, our entire approach to mental health has been pretty much stuck in what you could call a reactive trap. And this question right here gets to the absolute heart of it. Just think about it for a second. What if your phone knew you were burning out before you did? Imagine a system so tuned into your patterns that it could flag those tiny, subtle signs of burnout way before you even recognize them yourself. I mean, what would that change for you? And this really lays out the two worlds perfectly, doesn't it? You've got the old way on the left, you wait for a crisis to hit, you treat the symptoms after they're already there, and support is, well, it's often delayed. But on the right, you see what Aura Wellness is trying to do. It's a completely proactive model. It's about predicting future issues, actually preventing burnout, and making sure that any intervention is immediate. It's a total flip of the script. Okay, so that's the big idea. But how does this new proactive approach actually work? Well, it's all about using technology to basically flip that old model on its head and get way ahead of the curve. So the core idea here is to get way beyond just, occasional check-ins. This whole system is designed for continuous analysis. It's looking at what they call your neurobehavioral patterns. And a good way to think about that is it's like all the little digital breadcrumbs you leave behind every single day. Your phone usage, maybe your sleep data, even what's on your calendar. It takes all of that to build a picture of your mental state and then helps optimize it before problems can escalate. And this brings us to the really groundbreaking tech at the heart of this whole thing. It's a concept that honestly sounds like it's straight out of science fiction, but it's becoming very real. We're talking about the cognitive digital twin. So what is that exactly? Well, the official definition calls it a dynamic, continuously learning digital representation of a user's psychological and emotional state. Now, the keywords there are for sure dynamic and continuously learning. This isn't just a static snapshot of you. It's a living, breathing model that evolves right along with you. But here's a much simpler way to think about it. It's basically an early warning system for your mind. Just like a smoke detector senses smoke long before you see any flames, this digital twin is designed to pick up on those subtle signals of emotional distress before it ever turns into a full-blown crisis. So how does your twin actually work? Well, it breaks down into 4 key steps. First, the AI is constantly analyzing your patterns. Then it uses all that data to create that living psychological profile we talked about. Third, and this is where it gets really powerful, it starts to predict your future mental states. And finally, it closes the loop by delivering personalized interventions right when you need them most. Okay, so that's the big picture. Now let's kind of pull back the curtain and take a look under the hood. Who is this actually for, and what's the tech that makes it all possible? This quote right here really sets the stage. It's talking about people facing unique occupational stressors, including life-death decisions, irregular hours, and emotional labor. So right away, you can see the focus is on people who are under immense pressure. We're talking about jobs that involve life or death choices, crazy schedules, and just a huge amount of emotional labor. So yeah, who is this for? The main primary audience is healthcare professionals, physicians, nurses, emergency staff, but the potential here is obviously so much broader. Just think about it. Executives, educators, first responders, caregivers. I mean, really, this could be for anyone who's working in a high-stress environment day in and day out. Now, you definitely don't need to be a developer to get this, but it's worth pointing out that the platform is built on some seriously modern, robust tech. The AI engine is running on Google's Gemini API, the front end is React, and the whole data architecture is designed for HIPAA compliance, which, as you can imagine, is absolutely crucial when you're dealing with sensitive health information. So, what's the takeaway here? What does all this mean for the bigger picture? Let's just zoom out for a second and think about the potential impact this kind of tech could have on how we approach wellness in the future. Really, if there's one thing to take away from all of this, it's this crucial point right here. We're talking about a massive paradigm shift. It's about moving away from just treating mental illness after it's already shown up, and instead moving toward proactively and continuously cultivating mental wellness, just as a normal part of our daily lives. And all of this leaves us with one last pretty deep question to think about. As this technology gets more and more sophisticated,
Could it start analyzing data and patterns that you're not even consciously aware of? Could a digital twin one day actually know you better than you know yourself?